Hi, everybody. I am live on Instagram, currently by myself, waiting for Robert to join, and he will do that shortly. There he is. Let's get Robert in here so Robert can join. Hold on. Why can't I invite you? There we go. Ah, Lord. I am an entire mess over here. Hi, babe.
Hey, what's going
Did you
on?
see all of my like craziness?
Yeah, yeah. Everybody got a that's yeah,
I am
yeah.
a whole mess. This is what together apart looks like right now. So
Yeah,
here we
man.
are.
Gotta rush you too hard on air. I'll just leave it on
Listen,
until
this is a show
afterwards.
called "Fuck Your Feelings." You're supposed to.
Nah, we gotta we're gonna have we're gonna try to be a bit more funny and have more fun at your expense.
Thank you so much. I very
What's
much
going
appreciate
on?
you so very much.
What's going? Happy
How are
Thursday,
you?
everybody.
Is it weird not being in the same house yet?
With certain aspects of it, but like I said, there's been so much going on. It's still like not really settled either. I think that comes more with the, getting settled in and then figuring out that our day to day is more of a conversation than doing stuff together like that. But I think it's again we had an excellent conversation earlier talking about everything. I think that's what we're going to try to bring some of that on into the show tonight. Try to just bring some of our, again, we've always said we have interesting conversations, and those interesting conversations allow us to make interesting decisions based off of them.
Inside, while you were talking, all I was thinking was, wrong answer.
Oh, yeah, of course. It's the only acceptable answer. Yes, I can't sleep. I can't hold food down.
Thank
Yeah, I
you.
know.
That
But
is
again,
more of the appropriate answer.
but if I was actually moving in that energy and you knew that and I'm communicating that, you'd be rolling your eyes about that too. So I just that's part of the conversational topic is that I think that there's just an aspect of the woman in your life being kind of like no matter what, this it's gonna be something. So just have fun with it. Roll with the punches. You know what I mean? Like y'all. Again, you know how I like to annoy you and stuff like that. Don't think that the distance is gonna really change that up too much as far as yeah. Sometimes y'all are really easy to annoy. It
I'm
doesn't take much.
definitely. It's funny. I'm tough in so many aspects of my life, but when it comes to you, I'm like a sensitive Sue.
Which is crazy because you like to bring it raw like ODB or somebody like that when you upset about something. But yet you want to be a delicate glass flower when it comes to somebody bringing that same smoke back to you.
Not
But
just
again,
somebody in
okay,
particular.
not just
I can
somebody,
handle
just in
it from
particularly.
with what for some reason I'm sensitive Sue with you, and it is what it is. Anyhow,
Yeah, and
go ahead.
I think that's kind of normal though. I think most relationships move in that space. It's like I think a lot of this confusion is we're having is that we're not being honest about biology anymore. We're acting like biology is a choice. It isn't. Sorry.
We don't want to be canceled by the other people.
Well, not even that, but that's like chemistry isn't a choice. You can't take two chemicals that don't go together and just say, "Oh, I like their colors," and
Yeah, and then
you blow. Yeah, you have no eyebrows like that. You know what I'm saying? Like you blow yourself up. So
yeah, it's crazy. I was on a panel with a chemist the other day when I did my Women's Day event. It was a chemist. She was actually in People magazine. She was fascinating. Um, So so it's funny you talk about chemistry. Again, I love being around like powerful, smart women who still live in their femininity and own that. That's a beautiful thing to see, and I've been surrounded by it coming back home. Anywho, tonight's topic is an interesting one. And I titled the show "Divorce is an Option, Marriage is a Choice." And it's interesting because I saw something on Instagram, and I'm going to play the clips that were on Instagram. But it's funny because often, and you,
Oops.
whatever you're doing, stop it.
I'm trying to get this camera situated. All right, we're good.
Is that, hold on, here's the best part, everybody. Rob insisted that we come on 15 minutes prior to even going live because he wanted to get things right.
No, it's really? What you do. It's those little minor adjustments that be bothering you, and then you wind up making a bigger issue out of it, and then fix it, and then you get that was just you. That's all.
Is that what we're calling it? It's a shoe moment? How can that be about me?
It's when you're at 99.5% and you just a little tweak, and then you wind up getting 98.2 or something like that. But hey,
you know what? You actually got me.
She's not pointing out the lie in what I'm saying. So
you're not, because it's accurate.
Yeah. But and before we get into the topic of that, like I said, I think just and another one of those is just know who you're dealing with. Like I you can't expect a person to be somebody they're not. So with that being said, go ahead and lead into the topic today, babe.
Whatever. You know my nature. Whatever. Don't act like you're just trying to be. Anyways, I move on. Okay, we move on. Divorce is an option, marriage is a choice. And I thought this clip was interesting because often what we hear is divorce is not an option, right? And as people who have been in previous marriages, we clearly know divorce is definitely an option, right? It is an option that is on the table when your marriage is not, I don't know if it's not going in the direction that you want for your life, nor is it fulfilling. And I say those things because there's so much of wide gambit of why people get divorced, right? You hear all types of things, but for me, it's one of those things where unless the marriage is taking you in a direction that you know you don't want to go, or you're just really at the point where there's just no way to save it, I think maybe you do take divorce off of the table. But when you find yourself, and it's not just the little things like the way they chew, or that all of a sudden you're annoyed because their baby toe is bigger than the other toe, and like just foo-foo-ness, as Jamaicans would say. But things where it's just like, we're just not going in the same direction. I got into this marriage and I thought you were a go-getter and you were ambitious and all of these things, and now we are 10 years into the marriage, and you're talking about, throwing away everything that we've worked for, and we've got 30 more years to go because you want to go off on a whim or some crap like that, right? Like, and I'll get into something that I said to you today that people would be like, oh my God. But yeah, I'm dead serious. There are some circumstances in our relationship that would make me stay in somewhere I'm out the door. Like, it's just, and it is what it is. So anyways, I want to play this clip talking about divorce. And there's another clip where there's a talk about marriage. And it's fascinating how the two of them come together. And this is from the show Black Love. And hopefully my remote's been acting up.
That's playing.
Can you get your life together before? I'm not gonna do anything until you.
No, I'm taking notes. No, I want you to play.
Notes?
I've heard the clip. See, I'm telling you.
Oh wow! Look at you. You're being very studious, and you got your studious glasses on. Look at you, babe. Okay, I'm ready. The first one I'm gonna play is the one about divorce, and the next one I'm gonna play is the one about marriage. Do you want them back to back, or do you want to break in between, Mr. Studious?
Let's do a break in between.
Okay, so we'll do divorce first. Okay, and go. Oh, come on. my God, are we serious? Okay, so for some reason I have not been checking when I put this stuff on. So I actually have, I do have to get myself together. Let me actually find the clips. Let me find the clips because I know I had sent them to you. So I will find the clips and I will play them. Give me a second. It's right here. Give me one moment. See, here I was all ready, and only because the problem is I had to get a new USB cord because I forgot to take the one that was in the house, and so this one isn't configured the way that I wanted to, only to find out I need a laptop to configure it, and it's just been, anywho, I digress. Give me a moment. Let me get my life together. Okay. And because YouTube doesn't do a very good job, Instagram doesn't do a good job of giving you an opportunity to pause things or anything. Let me see if I can I might have to play the one about marriage first.
It doesn't matter. Just because of the way it's set up.
Okay. All right. You ready?
Next. Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Start when you say I do. Your marriage starts when you look over at your partner and you want to kill him. It's the everyday. People don't always marry the everyday. They marry the kind of now, kind of wow, and then it gets to the every single day. The going to bed, the waking up, the taking the groceries, getting the groceries, taking out the garbage, and loving each other through that. And I remember telling a friend of mine who was about to get married, I said, your marriage doesn't start when you say I do. Your marriage starts when you look over at your partner and you want to kill them. You're looking at them going for a second, or sometimes minutes or longer. You're thinking, I cannot believe I married this human being. They are driving me crazy. And then the next minute you say, I love them more than anything and I'm sticking with it. Marriage doesn't start.
Robert.
Mm-hmm. No, I think that's it's interesting for Viola to be the one kind of speaking from that perspective, because it's usually the dude talk like that,
Mm-hmm.
I think that women in general have a harder time accepting that aspect of the grind of a really long-term relationship. I'm talking about 5, 10, 15, 20, 25 years. Start really getting into it like that. That's not Tulum every week. You know what I'm saying?
You and that damn Tulum clip. You watch that Tulum clip and you keep talking about that damn Tulum. Can you please tell people about this Tulum clip that you watched, that you mentioned every second? Go ahead.
Well, no, it's actually from a stand-up. I think it was Lil Rel, where he was saying he got a partner that's got a younger girlfriend, and he be looking exhausted all the time. You know what I'm saying? He kind of go into this joke of, they're at a dinner setting, and he's like, what did y'all do? And he's like, we went to the farmer's market and some regular stuff. And then he's like, what you did into last week? And he's like, we went to the MTV Awards on Tuesday. We went to freaking Cipriani on Thursday, and then Friday we went. That was like Thursday night. We went to Tulum. He said, Tulum on Thursday. He said, yeah, I'm work. I was just tired. So like when I reference that, it's like, it's that's just not a realistic expectation. If you're just gonna be flamboyantly living the good life every day that you're with someone. Like that's just look. It just doesn't work like that. You know what I'm saying? And it's how you handle when things ain't so exciting, when things ain't so grand. Like you said, when you're sitting over there, annoyed, frustrated, bothered with that person, that's when it really kind of counts, when it matters. And that's when your commitment is kind of revealed. You know what I'm saying? And we're gonna break it down further into some various aspects of why in our opinion, why we think people divorce, or why relationships end, why did we move from marriage to relationships, and all of these things are going on in our society and our culture. And again, that's the point of the show, is we want to talk about those things. So we talk about these things kind of consistently and daily. It's like that's how you stay focused. That's kind of how you stay resolute. That's how you stay sharp. You're having a conversation about, interestingly enough, a lot of couples don't talk about sex with each other. You know what I
At all.
mean? It's very like, I don't want to offend them. I don't want to hurt their feelings. And again, in that space, it's like sometimes I think that's when a person is in that energy, it's more about them and their perceptions of that person and their judgments of that person than it is actually that person. You know what I'm saying? Because you can be a really uptight person, and then a hardship comes, and it.
I mean, I get it. You're trying to, because you're such a logical person, and I'm not even going to let you even go down that path. That's ridiculous, right? Like, it's just a ridiculous statement to me that you're not going to talk to your partner about sex. Like, this is the person, so you want me to be faithful to you, but I can't tell you how I want my punani eaten. You can't tell me how you want to slurp. That's ridiculous. That's the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard. But I'm going to expect fidelity. But you can't talk to me about how to keep fidelity in the relationship.
And what's interesting is I think in a lot of those situations, you're not talking to the person that could do something about it, i.e. your spouse, your partner. You're talking to like a confidant, a friend, a homie or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Which is, so you can talk about it. You're just not talking about it
to the person that matters.
Yeah, and that's just again one of the things that seems weird to me, but it's actually fairly common. To each their own, but I don't see how to be dealing with someone and expecting them to read your mind is a dangerous proposition.
Agreed. There's no way.
Yeah, I think you're putting too much. I think you're kind of setting a person up to fail if you expect them to read your mind.
Well, but I also think that there are people who find our relationship dynamic interesting because we are so vocal with each other about the things that we dislike. Because it's the things that you dislike and the things that are disdain for you. Like she said, you're sitting over and for minutes, sometimes maybe even hours, looking at your partner and thinking how much whatever they're doing annoys you. And what's so interesting now about our dynamic is I don't have that anymore because I am the person who does that. Rob very rarely tells me the things that I do that irritate him. And if he does, it's in a very teasing way and we can laugh about it because that's his nature. Where I am very clear that I don't like you for doing this, and I'm very vocal about the things that I don't like. Now, granted, I also tell him all the things I adore about him because I'm obsessed with him, and I'm not there to kiss his face and lick him and all the crazy things I do. But I am very vocal with, here are the things, and sometimes it's hard to hear. I mean, again, I know we've had some tough F your feelings conversations where I've had to tell him some things that I'm sure stung quite a bit. And it's funny because I don't tend to put a softer, I don't know, now that I'm thinking about it, I'm not very soft when I'm expressing my dislike.
No, or are you very mindful of how frequently you do it? But you're not alone in that. No, I'm just saying that's being real. If you ask 10 men, who complains more in the relationship, you or her? I guarantee 10 of them will say the one who does that.
Not 9, not 8,
Not even 9, not even 8. That is 100% accurate right there. But it's biology. You know what I mean? Like we are built differently, and I think men understand women so much better than women understand men in general. Because men have to accept it. Hey, if you're a man and you want a relationship, you want family, you want this, you want that, the third, there's going to be certain things that come with it. I think women, by and large, have to deal with the myth that you really can have it all. You know?
Yeah, that's a myth. We cannot have it all.
You
I
just-
don't
you just-
even know. I wouldn't. And do you even want it? Do you even? Because what does having it all even look like?
I
And
don't
that's
know.
what I think I'd be curious to know from women. Like, if you say, I want it all, what does all look like in the grand scheme of things? Because, you know, you made a good point the other day when you were like, if you choose A, that means you forego B. If you choose B, it means you forego A. So any choice you make in your life, you're foregoing something to make that choice. So there's no way you can have it all. It's just, again, it doesn't make sense. It's not a logical statement to make. It's a feelings-based statement to think, I can have it all. It's amazing. But you can't. Even Beyonce's career slowed down the moment she had Blue Ivy, and it slowed down even more when she had them twins. Beyonce is in a place in her life where she worked, like Rihanna said, had a baby, slowed down a bit, took a step back, had 2 more babies, and halted, and now she comes out of and makes special appearances.
What's the
Beyonce's
difference?
not doing what she was doing 10, 15 years ago before them babies.
Okay, so speaking of divorce is an option, marriage is a choice. I'm going to give you 2 celebrity couples, and I'm going to ask you, which one do you think is more likely to get divorced in the long run? I'm going to give you who you just used, Beyonce and her husband, Jay-Z, or Russell Wilson and Sierra, quotation mark, player.
Definitely. They are the more likely couple to get divorced because Sierra refuses to take a back seat and just let her husband do what her husband's supposed to do. She's trying to put out independent women tracks, which are horrible, by the way. Even my 21-year-old was like, that was some garbage. And talk about crap that she has no business talking about.
Here's the thing, and I'm gonna call it kind of as I see it. I think about this, and you know, I think if Steph Curry isn't careful, Aisha is gonna probably put him in the same type of situation.
I'm waiting for him to get rid of her ass.
Here's the thing, and I also think it's because of their personal. It's one of the things that we'll get into. Their personal development. Beyonce seems to move that she doesn't care about any man's attention other than her husband.
Her husband's.
But you can tell Sierra wants the attention of men other than her husband.
Correct.
Aisha Curry seems to want the attention of men other than her husband. And I think that's going to get you in trouble more often than not. And we all know that J and B have been through something. Or Shalom have been trying to beat them up in the elevator. You know what I'm saying? So we know they've been through some stuff.
Yeah.
But she very stealthily addressed it in her music. She had so much attention in her career that I think stepping back from all that attention was not a problem. But if you look at Steph, I mean, you look at who was I just? You look at Sierra. You look at Aisha Curry. They've never had attention like a Beyonce.
Never.
So they still feel like I hope to attain that. Again, you can't have it all. You got the husband, and you're not happy with that. You got A, and you still worried about B.
Yeah, that ain't enough for you. And you know, it's funny because that's something that I talk about because you know there are people who question whether or not us staying together even makes sense now that we're on different sides of the border. And you know how I feel about that.
Mhm.
First of all, let me just say, first of all, okay, I would be a damn fool. Let me just talk about myself personally. I would be a damn fool just thinking that because we're no longer in the same country, what am I going to do? Come over here and replicate what I have with you back in a country I've already lived in with men that I'm already surrounded with? To do what with them? First of all, okay, Rob is the man that a lot of women watch enough Kendra G and they will describe Robert. And so I'm going to do what? I'm going to leave the man that women are describing, whose attention I have completely and wholly, to go find myself on Kendra G re-asking for you.
And them likes and follows is powerful. Man.
But do you understand how foo-foo that is? Like, it's a
Yeah, of course, I see it as foolish. The problem
no, hold on
is,
a second, babe. Now I listen to these women because I like to just do this for research. But I watch Kendra G, and they'll come on and they'll describe these men that they want, and it's funny because I love how Kendra G will say to these women, have you dated these men in the past? And all of them will say, yes, I've had that man in the past. She was like, so what's the problem? So if you've had them in the past, why couldn't you keep them? Because you're now back on my show asking for a man you already had the attention of. Like, do you understand now how the logic is not logicking? So for people who think that all of a sudden we're going to be across the different borders and the distance is going to separate us. So again, I'm supposed to be single again in my mid-40s to just try to go on a show like Kendra G or walk the streets of Toronto or get on flights and airplanes to basically try and go find Rob? Because Rob is the bar. So then I'm gonna no disrespect to all you other men, but 6'9", former ball player, smart as a whip, the smartest man I know, 6 figures, over 6, all of the blah, 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 blah. And I'm going to say, okay, I'm going to do what to go in, to then go ask for you again.
That's why we need more women speaking up. I think, part of the conversation we were having earlier is like, rest in peace to God from heaven. You know what I'm saying? But he gave men a voice. You know what I'm saying?
And some of y'all
very
need to shut up.
practical, pragmatic way. And it is already now. Like I said, it feels like the dudes who wasn't getting no box in high school is the loudest ones in the room. And that's not necessarily who should be speaking for men.
Some of you need to shut the F up down. Like Kevin Samuels passed away, and he did not pass the torch to any of these men. The torch is with him in his grave. And some of y'all men need to just shut the fuck up. Because you have no idea what you're talking about, and you sound absolutely ridiculous. Kevin Samuels did not sound ridiculous. A lot of these men trying to take Kevin Samuels' spot sound ridiculous. They sound moronic, and they need to shut the F up. But that's what
you gotta be
telling that. I'm a business.
Well, part of this thing is you gotta be speaking from experience. You know what I mean? Like, and it's so obvious that some of these dudes is just rattling off like talking points and like, but they ain't really got that like the bumps and bruises and scrapes of the experience of dealing with women out here in these streets and being desired by women out here in these streets to be speaking on certain things. You know what I'm saying?
Thank you.
Like, you can judge a man not by the women that he connects with sometimes, but by the women he passes up on.
And this is why I said marriage is a choice, and we need to remember this. So this whole concept for me, and Cass says she agrees with men trying to take Kevin Samuels' torch, and his torch is with him in his grave. But I think it's so interesting that this is being forgotten, right? In this new pick me era, and I have been, as you know, called a pick me, and that's okay. Look who chose me,
Well,
right?
that's the
I'll
most.
thank you, babe, for choosing me. I will be and pick me all day if Robert Stevenson is what I end up. Pick me all day, every day. But I digress. But let me just go ahead, babe.
Well, that's like saying you think you smart because you can read. You know what I mean? That's like saying, like, isn't that the whole point is being picked? Like, I just, sorry, but that sounds like, so if you, okay, you're proud of not being a pick-me-shit. So that means that if
You single and bitter and lonely.
So if there's 10 dudes and 20 girls, then 10 dudes are going to pick 10 women, and you're not going to be one of them. And you're cool with that because you're not a pick-me-shit. Okay.
I guess. Yes, the wrong person.
That sounds stupid. It seems like
effing ridiculous.
Sounds
because
like
you
what
want.
it
Here's the thing. I
pick-me-shit.
think we're living in egos, right? And that's even something to like. If we had been living in our ego when we had that conversation about needing to do something different for the longevity of this relationship, we would have broken up.
Yeah, it would just blew up. It would just blew up and turned into
yeah, it was not an easy conversation to have. There were a lot of things that came to light that in some relationships would have buried the relationship. But we were open and vulnerable and honest enough with each other to say, again, our ultimate goal is to stay together. Our ultimate goal is to be committed to the commitment. We have a wedding date and we are still thriving towards it, but we have to do something different, right? And we did, this is something different. This was not part of our original plan, but we go back to it. We have a relationship contract and we talk about things had to change. And now this is the new dynamic that we had to enter. The relationship contract doesn't change. The commitment to the commitment doesn't change. Our living locations change. The relationship still remains the same. And I think that's where some people have the difficulty of like, oh my God, like what you're doing is so weird. What's changed with the fact that we don't live in the same country?
Well, fear. I think fear drives a lot of relationships. Fear of loss is a lousy reason to do anything. It's a lousy motivation. Fear of loss. I think it does contribute heavily in a lot of relationships. It's the reason why sometimes, like when we were talking earlier about why people are not do not try to have the difficult conversations and honest conversations of, look, I know this is going to be some shit that you're going to find hard to swallow, but I need to find a way to tell it to you anyway.
Yeah.
That's the difference right there. Is that when you in there like, oh no, if I tell them that they're going to get mad and leave me, then let them.
Mm-hmm.
Then let them. Like that's on you. I think that's because you're not even giving that person an opportunity to truly process that information and determine whether that's something that that's a deal breaker for them, or if it's problematic, or it's something y'all can work your way through, or whatever. You're making the judgment and the decision for the other person, and therefore making to justify your decision to withhold something, or to not communicate something, or to misrepresent something. And I think that's going to bite you in the butt more than it is the other person. You know what I'm saying? So it's I think that in the degrees that people do that is differently. Like I think again, we were joking earlier. You communicate your issues your issues. You communicate your issues more frequently and more often than I do. But that's the dynamic because I don't have a need for you. And I don't say that you, because again, you know what you're going to get from me, you know what you ain't. But I think that I don't need for you to not be the things that I don't like. You know what I'm saying? I don't need that. I need you to be the things that you are. And that's the difference. Like, so when your emphasis is going to be on, so when it is that you are being something that it really is being problematic to the long term, I have to find a way to communicate that with you. That's kind of the definition of healthy feelings. It's like, look, I know you're not going to like this. I'm pretty sure we're going to have break the conversation down to truly get to what we're trying to communicate. Because some things are deeper than just a one-word sentence.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you have to peel back the layers of the onion to get to what you really got. Again, at the root of what we were going through, we both understood was that your father's passing impacted the relationship in levels and ways that we just could have never predicted or saw coming. It's facts. And you can't tell somebody how to grieve. You can't tell someone how to process loss. And you can't put a stamp on it. But after we went through a certain period of time, and both of us being aware of the relationship we're in and the relationship that we want, we got to a point where it's like, hey, you noticing, look, we're both noticing, like, look, I seem to be more unhappy. I seem to be more annoyed by things, and rightfully so. Anger is one of the steps in the process of grieving. Look it up if you need to. And sometimes it's easiest to be angry at the person that you're closest to. Like that, it happens a lot. But if that person isn't strong enough to handle it, and I don't like using that term, like stronger, or they aren't aware of what's going on. I clearly understood what was going on. I said I was going to be there for you during the duration of what was going on. I needed you to get to the point where you recognized what was going on. You feel what I'm saying? And then once you
But
go
sorry to
ahead.
cut you, babe, and I get that. But you know what's so interesting about what you're talking about? Why people don't want to go to their partner with the stuff that's going on, because they fear they won't continue to choose them.
Yeah, it's fear.
So all of this idea of, and it's generally the woman who again is bringing the displeasure, right, or bringing the situation. And I'm not saying that men don't do it, but I will say from the experience that I've had being in a relationship, I am generally the one who's bringing the things to the table that needs to be changed or evolve or whatever. Again, hello, here is the relationship we're having. I was the one who brought up the thing that we needed to go back to the starting places of the relationship to get back to what we needed to come to. But I didn't fear not being chosen. You had already made a choice. Here's the thing, loving you every day is a choice. Being together every day is a choice, but it's a choice we've been making for almost 3 years, 2.5 years. We've made that choice every day, and we're going to make the choice beyond this. And so it's interesting to me, this whole new pick me thing, when at the end of the day, people want to be chosen. You choosing for me to be your future wife, that was a choice. You can also choose for me not to be.
Well,
but that's how life works. And I don't want to be in a situation where I can't have an open and honest relationship respectfully, because again, people sometimes hear open and honest, and honesty is brute and just ugly and all of that. No, that's not what honesty is. You're just being unkind. You can be honest and be sweet about it, right? And I think we've done a really good job of being, even in Fuck Your Feelings, our honesty isn't meant to be harsh and brutal. It's meant to be able to help us to get to the next level. But I never fear being open with you because I'm like, oh my God, he's gonna choose not to be with me anymore because of what I've said. So in every way, everybody's a pick me, because especially once you found the person that you want to be with, you want them to continue to keep picking you. Doesn't that make sense? That's why, again, when Viola was saying, you know what, like, your marriage starts when you look over the person you want to kill them, but despite that, you still want to choose them the next day and the day after that and the day after that. Cass just said we don't need to worry. Our relationship will be fine. And she says, because we're authentically us, authentically you.
And we appreciate you, Cass. One of our, long-standing, very, very supportive,
And Cass, we need to party. Cass and I are supposed to be
followers.
partying on these
She's been
Ferrari
one of our,
streets.
one of our day ones. She would definitely just link up with you. I'll catch up with you when I make my way up there. If nothing else, I'll definitely be there for Caravan. So, like that's just.
If you think you're about to wait till Caravan weekend to see me,
No, I'm
again,
not saying. I'm
you
saying,
got
but
something wrong
if
with your
nothing,
house.
look, she's about to start complaining already. No, I'm just saying that worst case scenario, it would be that. But anyhow, and part of what you say, to piggyback on what you're saying, as far as the fear of loss, but you also have to do the work to know what's really going on with you. You know what I'm saying? Like, and again, because and babe, I think we're gonna have to limit it to an hour because this headset is. I thought I charged it all the way up, but started with it's draining faster than I realized. So that's another thing I need to address here in the future.
Okay, so since we only have like 20 minutes left, sir.
Yeah. That's why I'm gonna accelerate it here. Yeah. So
I played the video. I know Cass said she can't wait to see you, but she still got to see me.
Yeah.
Cass and I are supposed to be running these streets partying, and I got sick. So anyhow, Cass, reach out to me because we need to be in these streets. But let me find the second clip, and I'm gonna play the second clip. Let me turn it up here. And hopefully this will play properly. Hold on.
Yeah, and I'm not paying a ton of attention.
Oh my God! Now you started talking.
Super choppy tonight.
Robert, you started talking, and I got the video perfectly, and you started opening your mouth. Please be quiet.
Okay, sorry. Go ahead.
Thank you.
Divorce is an option, and the fact that it is an option is what helps you stay married.
The fact that it's an option makes the choice more powerful. And so I do believe that divorce, in real world, divorce is an option. Like, it is an option. You have a choice to exercise it or not. And the power, I'm not a slave to this marriage. And I believe knowing that it's an option and deciding to stay is where that love is. That's where the power is. That's where the connection is. That's where the bond is that I can do whatever I want, but I'm choosing to stay here and honor you and those vows that I made. So I absolutely believe divorce is always an option, but I'm choosing to stay.
And we grew up in the church, and divorce is not an option because God believed in the sanctity of marriage. People get divorced
all the time. And honestly,
just say that, and it's like, now that's true. No. People get divorced pastors get divorced all the time. So obviously, divorce is an option.
Mm-hmm.
So the cut.
Pastors do it all the time. And they're supposed
Correct.
to be. But you know what that clip really made me think of when we were listening to that? What popped in my head?
What?
Remember on Girl Talk how we did the story on the guy who did like 30-something years at Burger King with perfect attendance.
Yes.
And they gave him like some peanuts.
Some bullshit.
Yeah. But anyway, here's where I'm going to use him as an example of what that and how that applies to what they're talking about there. That man worked for 32 days at Burger King. None of us feel like Burger King is a glamorous job.
No.
How many thousands of days consecutively is 30-something years?
A lot. I'm not even going to do the math.
Me neither. On any one in particular days, he could have woke up and said, "Fuck this, I ain't going. I ain't doing it. I'm sick of Burger King. I'm sick of being on fries. I'm sick of flipping burgers or whatever it is. I'm sick of the customers. I'm sick of I'm sick of Whoppers. I'm sick of everything. I'm done." At any one of these days, he could have did that. Every day that he chose not to do it made the decision to go more powerful. That's why he wound up at 32-something years. Now, Burger King was completely showed him little to zero appreciation for his 30-something years of service. Does that diminish how amazing and great of an employee he is?
No.
That's on Burger King. You know what I'm saying? And what did he get? He had an outreach of support of the community,
Yeah.
and he got his flowers that way. I think they did a
Yeah.
GoFundMe and all this other
Yeah,
stuff,
the
and they
daughter
wound
said,
up,
yeah, the daughter said,
yeah,
go find
and they
it.
wound up doing very well, you
Yeah.
know, based
Yeah.
on that. You know what I'm saying? Because yeah, he 32 damn years at a thankless job. You should get a Rolex or something at the end of it.
Yeah.
You know, but so that just really made me think of that. Is yes, commitment in your relationship is a choice. You don't gotta do it. In the minute, I think when you start feeling like you got to, and you know what the got to makes me think of the most immediately. What's the number one reason people talk about they trying to work out a bad relationship?
And for his children.
Exactly. For the kid. It's not an option. It's for the kid. No, children are not a reason to be in a bad relationship. You heard it here first.
Listen, well, that's one of the things for me, you know, with my daughter's father. I mean, my child is now 21, but I was at a place where I said, even in my early 20s, I knew enough to know I would rather my daughter be in 2 separate happy homes than one miserable one. It was a decision that we made because at the end of the day, you know, after about a year of her birth, we realized we just were not compatible. There was a lot of things going on, infidelity on his side, and just, you know, different things. And it was like, listen, we got into this. We have this amazing child. We are not compatible, but we can be great parents to her and keep her in 2 separate happy homes. And so, yes, there has to be a point where you say, even though I am making a choice to be with this person, it is an option to leave the relationship if things are not going. And I'm not talking about small things, right? And so I'll tell the funny story. And people might not find it funny, but Rob and I had a bit of a joke today. And I said to him, let me be very, very clear. There are certain things, and we've talked about this on the show, and people have gone down my throat when I've said this, but cheating is not a deal breaker in this relationship. I don't equate Rob's fidelity with his loyalty to me. And so Rob is very loyal to me, but it doesn't necessarily guarantee his fidelity. And so cheating is not a deal breaker. It would change the dynamic of our relationship, but it's not going to necessarily be the breakdown of our relationship. But let me tell you what will be the breakdown of our relationship. If Rob thinks his ass, okay, is going to get up one day and not be the earner I know he's capable of being and bringing our family to the next stage of where we're supposed to be going financially, I will leave his ass.
And
If Rob's ambition lacks, if his drive lacks, if he starts saying, I know I could earn X, but you know what? I just think I'm going to be comfortable over here. Absolutely not. We came together
I'm gonna live off the land.
Who are ambitious and driven, and I'm back on this side of the border. And Rob will tell you, like, it's been 2 weeks, and I'm like, this has got to happen. This is moving here. This is moving here. Like I am 2 weeks in, and I'm like, this has got to get done. Here's the number that's got to happen. And so he knows my drive and my ambition. So if his response to that was like, you know, babe, like, that sounds good, but, you know, we got to chill. I am not marrying poor. So I will leave your ass. If you think that I'm not leaving living trust to our children and they're not going to be well off and we don't get to retire and travel the way, oh no, you going to be alone. No, you can cheat on me. It's not a deal breaker. But if you think I'm going to be poor, it's not going to happen. People need to have these conversations.
Well, I think, and I'm
not going to marry you because then when I divorce your ass, I end up with nothing. So all of this investment for what? To end up with no.
Yeah, I think you know the way you're going about it is like you're being a bit antagonistic, and to me, that message is complete. Well, no, I just think again, not everybody's going to take that message the way it's intended or how it should be interpreted. I would have the same advice for my daughter. You know what I'm saying? The reason I say that, and let's just remove that, you know, just remove the financial aspect, because you know, again, we all know financial is a big aspect of any relationship. But I've never a single day of you knowing me have represented myself as being unambitious. So to all of a sudden, one day, be like, oh, I'm gonna join a commune up in Montana and live in a yurt off the land. You coming with me, babe? That would be somewhere kind of out of left field. That would be the same to me. The equivalent would you being like, I know I said, no, whatever. I've been thinking about it, and I think in order to maximize my best options for a successful life, I think I want to have 3 husbands. I'm like, when the hell have you ever talked to me about that? So now all of a sudden you're supposed to come up with that, and I'm supposed to entertain that desire? No. So yeah, if you think you can just automatically one day change up and flip from who you've always been for a person, that doesn't make any sense. You know what I'm saying? That's like me being level-headed, and all of a sudden I'm just going to start flying off the handle at every just reacting crazy off of everything that happens. That's completely contrary to who I've always been. And I do think that it's important in a relationship to stay true to yourself. You know what I'm saying?
Well, we said something which a lot of people might find strange. So in order for our relationship, and we can only speak about our relationship, but I think this formula works for a lot of relationships, but we'll speak directly to our relationship. In order for our relationship to go the distance, it is important that we work on each other individually for the common collective goal of us. And where we got into a situation is there was less focus on us individually, and we were focused on each other, of what each other was going on, because we thought that doing that was going to get us to where we're focused on us. But the reality is, if there isn't a whole Rob and there isn't a whole Sheba, where are we driving towards? Go ahead, babe.
Well, you know what it made me think of? The term sabbatical in academia.
Yeah.
See, a sabbatical is when you're, say, a tenured professor. You've been teaching, let's say, 20 years. That's when the university says, hey, take a year and a half. We're going to give you some money. We want you to go update your skills, brush up on your update your knowledge, do some research, do some personal development, get better at your discipline.
And
then come back, refreshed, charged, and ready to do it all over again.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? There's many places in which that type of concept of taking a step back to take many steps forward is present. I don't think it's novel or original or nothing like that. But I do think it's something. Look, I think on a certain level, we just have to face the fact that we've been sold a lot of lies on both sides. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
There's no coincidence that relationship failure is on the rise, and that coincides with people being told, "Oh, biology is a choice, chemistry is a choice, mindset is a choice." Those things are, yes, you can have variance to those things, but you very rarely see huge swings. Very rarely does the temperature go from 100 degrees to negative 50. You know what I'm saying? In a short span of time. Usually those things are gradual. And that's how relationship. Well, because what I'm getting to is that's how this head's but that's how relationships get off track. It's gradually. It's hardly ever big, huge. One time things. It's those little things that add up, and if you course correct those things, they can lead you to being really off course. That's kind of to bring it, land the plane.
Yeah, and so for us, understanding that we need a choice to be together, and that choice doesn't change just because we are separated by distance. That's important, right? But we also understand that there are options to go our separate ways if that's what it comes down to. It's not an option we want to exercise, but we're not keeping each other hostage in this relationship, but we are doing something in our minds that's going to make us stay together, that is going to make us go to the distance. And we're actually excited to see where this goes. And again, we're taking everybody on this journey with us. And you might see some, again, more behind the scenes stuff of when we're traveling to go to each other and all of the things that happened, and bring you on this journey. But I think people need to start realizing that there are choices that you make in your relationship, in every relationship that you make. You cannot have it all. We couldn't have everything that we wanted in the relationship under the circumstances that we were having in the relationship. And so people need to look at their relationship and think, what has to give? Because no matter what, we knew that the choice was each other.
Mm-hmm.
And we wanted to make that choice. But we were now almost we were trying to build something in soil that just was not in a place to allow us to grow. So are there different choices that people need to be making in their relationship for the longevity of it?
Well, as I think I put it earlier, there's three phases of the relationship. There's us, there's me, there's you. I think we were both heavily investing into us and not as much into me and you. And again, you can address my development. I can't address your development.
Yeah.
So when we really started peeling the layers back, it was also exciting for the opportunity to, hey, if I want to study for 8 hours straight, I don't have to worry about Sheila feeling alienated by that. I can text her on my breaks. You know what I'm saying? Look, there's many ways. And like Cass said, the distance can at times make it sweeter. Yes, I think absence does make the heart grow fonder. Sometimes familiarity can breed contempt. When you're laying up under each other every single day, sometimes it's like things can. So because look, the only person who's got to really be okay with your relationship is you and the person you're in it with. Everything else, if you're making decisions based on the feedback, external feedback, your relationship is going to guarantee you that, because there's no cardboard cutouts, there's no one size fit all, there is no one way recipe for bringing two people together. There's multiple aspects of it. Like I said, there's me, there's you, there's us. All three parts of that got to be solid, and you got to be working on all three parts of that individually and collectively.
Correct. And this is the journey we're on. We're working on us individually so that collectively we can thrive. We're not just trying to survive. We're trying to thrive. That's what
thrive. We're trying to change the conversation. We're trying to change the logistics, change the building, change the whole shebang.
So I'm going to say some final words. I'm going to actually have myself say some final words because my voice is tired now. So this is what we got to say. Oh God, the videos don't work. Babe, I should have taken the damn USB cord thing because now I'm annoyed. So I guess I'm not going to say some final words with my voice. So all I'm going to say to people is, everybody, keep following our journey. Also, make sure you follow our sponsors, Sorrel and Sage. Again, I don't even have their stuff up. Listen, we're just adjusting.
Season 4 is a period of adjustment. It's a new look. It's some ways we're taking a step back. We understand that. Y'all can give us on it, roast us, give smoke, whatever. And again, there's been some commentary. We knew it. Y'all ain't gonna make it. Y'all gonna do this, that, and the third. And we welcome that too. It's cool. Like again, I can't assure you that we are in the place, though. The only people that were worried about what's going on with how they feel about this thing is the two of us, because that's all that's who you're going to have to rely on when it comes to your relationship with the other person. How's the relationship going to work if both of y'all rely on other people for the relationship? To define your relationship. Yeah, that makes sense. So there's that. So go ahead and shout out to our sponsors. And before this thing dies on me, and I think I'm gonna get some AirPods.
Yeah, you need to get together over there, Robert. Get it together. See what happens when I'm not there to make sure that things are going in order. I'm just saying, you gonna miss
Whatever.
me.
We had dead mics when we were in the same house. Look at her
Good
face.
night,
Like,
guys, because I'm about to hang up on Robert.
Yeah.
Whatever.
All right. Yeah.
But let's be clear, you were also in charge of technology when we
And
were
I did it
together.
too, right? So
Thank
it's
you.
both of us.
My
So
job is
anyways.
content creation and everything else. Yours was technology, so you failed yourself. But everyone, thank you for watching. Thank you to Sorrel and Sage. I'm gonna get it together and make sure that their logo's back there. But visit them on IG at Sorrel and Sage CA and shopsorrelandsage.com. We're gonna do this thing. We're gonna write out. You're gonna see all of the things, the behind the scenes as I go to visit and he comes to visit, because Toronto is going to be popping and Robert's not gonna want to leave, because on this side of the border we hitting it. I'm just saying, he gonna be cottaging, Rob gonna be caravanning, he gonna be, I'm just making up words.
Yeah.
But good night,
Now it's gonna be all good.
we will see you next week. Make sure that you are following us on Instagram and subscribing to us on YouTube. Let's keep the conversation going on Fuck Your Feelings. Good night, YouTube.